What is Gucci YouTube? It's your boy Black Uchiha, 3 long face, skinny body. And we are back still black with some more fire Boruto content. Now, before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, smash the like button, continue to share the video with your friends, and continue to comment below because I love the discussions and the debates that undergo in the channel. But let's hop into the business because we got Sarada's Mangekyou Sharingan to talk about. You feel me? Big Uchiha vibes, big Sarada. Let's get to it.
9 mountains and 8 seas make one world. 1,000 worlds make one chiliocosm. 1 chiliocosm to the power of 3, and there's nothing I can't cut.
So the abilities of Sarada Mangekyou Sharingan has been actually one of the more prominent and popular topics throughout the Boruto community, especially with the release of chapter 80. Now, in the past, with it being in the question mark or in the gray area in terms of like how will just a simple Mangekyou put Sarada on a level of, you know, figures like Kawaki and Boruto and even Mitsuki, whose unknown sage mode can even the scale or make the balance prevalent whenever he matches up against the two. So when it comes to Sarada, based off of our knowledge that we have throughout the entire lore of the show, how would a Mangekyou Sharingan even, you know, match that type of level of intensity or match that type of level of strength when it comes to going up against Otsutsuki level tier opponents? Now, one of the main things I argue, and I'm not even going to spend too much time stressing in the video today, because then it would just be like beating a dead horse, is that the stronger a person's base becomes, the stronger any other power-up that comes following after it. So basically what I'm trying to say is that when we have in Shippuden Naruto going Sage mode, and then when we have in Shippuden Sasuke unlocking his Mangekyou and even Eternal Mangekyou Sharingan, those power-ups were at what we've seen, meaning at the time that Sage mode Naruto, just Sage mode Naruto, was enough to match with high difficulty against a pain, all 6 paths, mind you, at that, right? So if we take a simple Sage mode adult Naruto, it is very easy, and it goes without saying that he will wipe the floor with pain, probably with less than a few punches, if we're just gonna be completely real. Not to be disrespectful to any of the OG characters, but just to give y'all that kind of idea, right? So the stronger a person's base, the stronger any other power-up follows. So when we come to Sarada, it's already been proven time and time again that current 12-year-old Sarada is way stronger. And this is prior to her Mangekyou. And the fact that she got the Mangekyou at 12 should speak on its own. But 12-year-old Sarada was stronger than 12-year-old going on 13-year-old Sasuke. Part 1 Sarada versus Part 1 Sasuke. The matchup has been presented to us many times and times again. And if y'all know when to compare both shows, even though both shows are one, favorite Naruto character is Sasuke, favorite Boruto character is Sarada. So at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be biased, but Sarada's wiping the floor with my guy Sasuke, if we're going to keep it a buck. Now, we give her a power-up right at this type of level, meaning a Mangekyou Sharingan, right? So imagine that 12-year-old Sasuke, how freakishly strong we thought he was, facing off against the one-tailed and even two-tailed Naruto with the QB chakra. And being able to match that power, you know, unlocking his third Tomen Sharingan and then going the curse 2 mark of his curse mark, right? So Sasuke was able to do all of that. Imagine if Sasuke unlocked his Mangekyou during that fight. Naruto would not have stood a simple chance. So that's simply what the mashup would look like, right? Between a 12-year-old Sarada and honestly anybody in Naruto's age group throughout that time, because that's how much stronger the Mangekyou Sharingan will be making Sarada. Now, Sarada's base is going to be extremely important. Her chakra potency, her chakra control, something that she focused on training on when she was with her mother and even with Sasuke throughout the Kara actuation arc and throughout the deeper arc. Now, pushing all of that aside, let's just look at Sarada's abilities, because we understand that, okay, even if she gets her base to whatever type of strength she can push it to, it's not going to justify the fact that these are like pushing like Ishiki level of strength. So it wouldn't make sense for Sarada to have that type of power boost in simple physical and speed boost. So let's look at the abilities that could automatically put her on top of the pedestal in terms of the top dogs in the series. And I honestly like this because some of these abilities actually felt like they fit her character very well. But we're going to start off with the most popular and the most common theme that we will see is some type of time manipulation ability with my shorty Sarada. The ones that we've come across, that I've come across personally when it comes to this topic, is being able to rewind time, similar to, like, I believe it's either Izanagi or Izanami. I think it's Izanagi, right? But that's kind of like rewriting reality, similar to omnipotence on a lesser degree scale. But rewinding time, more so making a callback to my guy Orishiki, kind of like how he had that ability with his Rinnegan, and it almost looked like teleportation whenever Jiraiya, Naruto, and even Boruto was going up against him, until Boruto was able to catch on. But Sarada getting the ability to rewind time probably a few seconds, even up to a few minutes, would be crazy. And I feel like it would do also a whole lot of poetic justice, because upon realizing this power, she will also realize that at the moment she awakened her Mangekyou Sharingan, even though if she didn't know how to control it, that power may have been at her disposal, being able to, just for the brief time, rewind time and prevent all of these things from going down, whether some type of way she can shape up the timeline or not. But it would be real cool for Sarada to come to some type of realization to that degree or to that nature if she has the ability to rewind time. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that ability. It's going to be real cool if she's even able to do something like that with one of her eyes. And it's honestly going to put her on a level to a point where it's like, you basically can't touch me. But when I think about Sarada's Mangekyou abilities, I think about absoluteness. I think about overpowering. I think about strength. And, I also think about genjutsu. For some reason, she's also been emphasized on being able to be like a masterclass user of the Sharingan, not to the degree of some of the legends we've seen, but in terms of copying ninjutsu and in terms of even placing genjutsu on other folks, going back to her fight in the Hidden Mist arc. I know a lot of people want to call that anime canon, even though it is not. It's officially a Boruto novel, and not saying officially as in it came out after the anime, but it came out before the anime aired that arc. So in that arc, we understand Sarada is able to utilize her Sharingan in order to copy Botan's lightning style and lightning ball jutsu, and also place Botan under a genjutsu to the point where Botan genuinely believed that she killed Sarada throughout that fight. So Sarada is pretty talented when it comes to utilizing her Sharingan. So ability that kind of maximizes that degree wouldn't be so far-fetched for me to believe. So one of the first things I want to talk about is a domain expansion type ability, similar to all my Jujutsu Kaisen fans out there, right? Kind of like how we see what this guy Gojo has. Now, in this terms, I would believe Sarada would be able to activate, her eye power and have some type of vicinity around her, whether how many kilometers or meters it wants to be. But essentially, in that space, everything is absolute or according to Sarada's will. So anything that tries to infiltrate that space, meaning that it can, but whatever Sarada wills it comes to be. Now, not essentially like a creation of all things technique where she can create anything in that space, but anything in that space cannot go against what she desires to be. Kind of like biting off of Ada's main theme about her ability. But when you think about it, right, say somebody were to step inside of Sarada's domain or Sarada's area where her ability is activated, right, and they have the intentions of attacking her, or they want to fight her, right, it's not going to happen. Not necessarily saying like it's going to reflect, but you're not even able to get close enough to touch her once you enter into that space. So I don't know if you want to describe it as something like they automatically become frozen right in their footsteps, but I want to look at it more so as a psychological aspect, whereas say someone is combating Sarada and then she decides to activate this ability. Soon as they realize that they're in her space, they understand that there is nothing that they can do. Vague as that must sound, it also led me to believe into the next possible ability that I want Sarada to have, right? Kind of the same, but essentially shaking it up a bit, not necessarily a domain expansion, but necessarily Sarada placing the person under a genjutsu, right? And what this genjutsu ultimately would do will bring the fighting will of the person down. And I know it sounds like, yo, this dude just try to come up with but honestly, I feel like also she's gonna get an ability we've never seen before in the Naruto franchise, but it has to be an ability that's just made us like, bro, how are you even gonna stop this, right? So essentially, once she activates this genjutsu, whoever she is fighting or whoever has the intention to fight Sarada, and it only gonna work if you are stronger than her, meaning if you're weaker than her, is no point of her using this ability. So if she's fighting an Otsutsuki, once that Otsutsuki puts it in his mind, I am about to battle this girl, I'm about to fight Sarada, and they view Sarada as an enemy or a threat, they automatically see her because of the genjutsu as being the stronger opponent. So anybody that's stronger than her automatically believes they are weaker than her, and they can, continue on battle like that. And I feel like that's a good way to even out the scales without making making it seem too much of an ass move. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, right? So the power or the genjutsu to order to lower enemy strength, right? So basically making you think you're weaker than what you actually are. And it only is going to work if you are actually stronger than Sarada herself. And it also goes and leads me into this last possible ability. And it kind of matches the whole theme of, like I said, it's absolute, or, bending to Sarada's will, right? Matching the idea or the symbolism of the sun in her eyes, the rising or the dawn of a new age, right? So the power to become stronger than an opponent. So essentially it's similar to like the last one, right? If you are stronger than Sarada, this ability will only work then, right? So if she sees you and her Sharingan is activated, she's able to activate her Mangekyou, her power is automatically going to rise above yours. And that's only going to work if you're stronger than her. But the get back for this, right, the drawback will be it's going to have the time limit. So probably 5 to 10 minutes this thing can be activated, and possibly even a withdrawal in terms of it's going to be a certain time interval to when she can even activate the ability again, similar to Obito's Kamui. But essentially, if she's fighting someone, right, now instead of making a person who is stronger than her ultimately think they are weaker than her, which is honestly a pretty cool genjutsu if you ask me. But now it's not necessarily a genjutsu, but if she sees the opponent that is stronger than her, her eyes power automatically gives her the physical boost or the physical ability to be stronger than that opponent. So ultimately being able to match that person's strength. So either the ability to bring someone to believe that they're weaker than her, or the ability to make her match up to ultimately to the person's strength that she's fighting for a time period, for a specific time period. So it don't matter if it's Ishiki, if it's Baryon mode, if it's Shibai. If she sees them, she activates her Mangekyou for 5 minutes. Sarada is going to be the strongest person in the world, and she has to use that 5 minutes to the best of her ability in order to end the fight. Now that's where it's going to be interesting and not too OP to the point where it's how do you stop it, because then it's like someone can be able to simply draw out the time limit of Sarada, someone can simply take advantage of the time intervals in between when she's able to activate the ability. But there's so many different ways they can go about it, and honestly, if we're being real, those are my two favorite ideas I thought of out of all of these that I presented to y'all in the video today. The ability to be able to cast the genjutsu to make any stronger opponent believe that they're weaker than her if they have the intention of fighting her, right? And then the ability to be able to automatically make herself stronger than the opponent she's facing for probably 5 minutes at a time. And then also a similar, like a domain expansion type ability where her area or the surrounding area that she deems hers becomes ultimately absolute, and anything in that area can't go against her. Or, the most popular one is the ability to rewind time. How do y'all feel like Sarada Mangekyou Sharingan ability is going to be presented to us? And do y'all think like I'm too outside of the box when it comes to the abilities that I presented to y'all? Or do y'all believe it might actually fit Sarada's character? Let me know. It's your boy, Black Uchiha 3. I honestly feel like this is the safest way and the non-ass pull way in order to match her against the stronger opponents like the Otsutsuki clan. But let me know how y'all feel. Comment below. I'm going to holler at y'all. Black Uchiha, your sir ski.
We take a trip to the sky, show them that our limits too high. Cocoa butter hips on the west side. She said